another amazing episode of the newspaper review here on TAF TV. I won't be the co-C. I won't be doing this newspaper review alone. With me is Mr. Victor Sioku. Mr. Victor, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm good to have you today.
Yeah, I'm very much welcome. How are you doing? How is this for hike treating you? You know, a lot of us has changed from Benz to Legacy Benz now. So, how is it treating you?
It makes me to be grateful. Okay,
grateful. How?
Yeah, grateful to God that personally I.
You know that some people can't even afford 2 square meals now.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I can cope. I'm trying to cope.
Okay, you've not joined us yet. I pray you don't.
But it is a very tough time for Nigerians out there. The other day, that was yesterday, I was moving on the road. I was driving on the road, and if you see the number of persons trekking,
you won't blame them.
Shay, you're laughing. You're laughing.
I'm among them. You won't blame us.
So it's really a challenging time for Nigerians, and not just for the rich, not just for the middle class, not for the poor. Everybody is involved in this, and man, I don't know what to say at this point.
It's really quite a very tough one there. All right, without wasting much of our time, we'll be moving over to the newspaper for today. So I'll be starting with the Guardian newspaper, and the boldest headline here is Palliatives. Buhari's social register lacks credibility. NEC. This story is found on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Court orders DSS to grant Kanu access to his daughter medical records. This is also seen on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. Reps ask NEC to stop increase in electricity tariff. This is also seen on the page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. DHQ activates war mode against terror as military kills 23. This is also seen on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. So, Mr. Victor, I would like to get your thoughts on this boldest headline, Palliatives. Buhari's social register lacks credibility, says NEC. So, what is your take on this headline? Okay,
I was very happy to hear the National Economic Council to come together to say this, because you find out that Buhari and his regime were like, they had a register to show forth that these are the persons that are poor in the land. Okay. But we know that, personally, I knew that that register was a concocted one, was more like a register that had so much errors in. Because there was no field work to that. It was based on will I say, predictions. Yes, okay. We expected, mind you, before the election came, we were expecting that the national census would have happened. Exactly. Okay, and with census, you can be able to get to some extent these figures. Okay, so for Buhari to find a way, I don't know how they managed to get.
Maybe they use the past record.
Oh, past record. If I can remember, if my memories are clear, I think the last time we had a census in Nigeria was in 2005.
No, it's every 10 years, right?
Yes, but since 2005, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, then it's 2006. It cannot be more than 2006 that we had the last national census. Okay, so since then till now, we are talking about 18 years. For the past 18 years, Nigeria has not had a national census. And how do you now know the poor people? In fact, see, the last time I spoke about census, you find out that there is a whole lot that Nigeria will achieve from running a census, both for itself as a country, both for itself domestically and for internationally. Because this data that you are collecting, some international companies need this data to do their business in Nigeria, and these data are not free. You sell them to those people. But that aside, now to the register itself, I'm very happy that Soludo, he was the one that spoke for the members of NEC. Okay, but he found out that he said a whole lot of goodies, because he was like, okay, this register, the states and the federal government, as in the government, not just the federal government, the government, meaning federal, state and local government, should be able to synergize and work out a proper social record for Nigerians. Now, but the issue I have is that, are you telling the states to get this information without using the local government, and not just even the local government? It should even come down to
traditional.
Yes,
level.
but you now see the issues. The issue now will be about our leaders, be it traditional, be it local government chairman, whether they will be able to give valid information. We then now start padding numbers,
so they will get
so that
more money
will come to their
exactly. You know, you understand the country you live in.
He even made a point that before he became governor, that the state, Anambra, was spending 137 million naira to clean public offices.
For real?
Yes.
Okay.
137 million naira to clean public offices. But by the time he came in, that right now, that they are spending only 11 million
and
to clean.
Money saved.
So you find out that these problems are not just by the people, that you have government officials out there waiting to loot these monies and not give it to the poor. So you just find that you be like, at the end of the day, please, this 2 trillion that Nigeria has almost saved for so far for this oil subsidy, please still hold the money. The government should still don't spend it yet.
Don't you think that money should have been channeled to building offices, shops, maybe establishing a company where people can come and train themselves? You understand?
Oh, sure. If it's for
free, because to learn skills here now is very costly. Because I remember I did my own program and I had to pay 250,000 just for me to learn it. So imagine the government making it free for the moderate Nigerians to be able to, if you know what you have passion in, you should go ahead.
Now let me now tell you, Kosi. Okay. One thing is learning a skill.
Then they should give them to start up something.
Okay.
The money we are talking about is not a small money. They should, once you finish learning and you've been certified that you've attained that level of that you know what you did and all that, they should then give them a starting a capital, you understand, for them to start up that business.
Good and fine,
because
sweet.
Giving a hungry man money, what would the person will just finish it.
But mind you, we still have the elderly down there that don't earn pension and they need to feed. In fact, let me tell you,
kids should take care of them.
Does everybody have a kid? Even the kids they are talking, how many kids are working?
Then they should train them.
They should train their kids, right?
I mean, they should train those.
The elderly.
No, I mean, okay, in terms of the elderly, I feel the government should be giving them something.
That is why we need this social register, so that we can be able to know the vulnerables in our community.
Exactly.
But the issue, like I just stated to, is will the government officials be able to give the right numbers
without adding their
without padding it?
Ghost people. Okay.
We already know, ghost workers everywhere. Look at, just as new governments are coming in, look at what happened in Abia State. Even Benue State. So you find out that, in fact, somehow you'd be like, is it that we need Jesus Christ to come come and become the leader in this country?
Before the corruption will be eradicated in this country, they have to kill almost everybody in Nigeria. Because even as they're giving birth to you, you're already corrupt. Okay.
I thought you wanted to say to kill all our leaders, but that is not that is not where I am. That is not what I like. Exactly. I don't subscribe to that, okay? But at the end of the day, we still need leaders, true leaders, that can move this country forward. Because if we don't get those leaders up here, Nigeria will be in shambles.
All right, Mr. Victor, thank you for that wonderful thoughts. We really appreciate. All right, we'll be moving over to the next newspaper for today, which is the Guardian newspaper, with the boldest headline: Hajj 2023, tears, complaint, train Nigerians 304 billion naira capital flight to Mecca. This story is seen on the page 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper. 4-day-old survives as couple. Children die from generator Fum in Anambra. This is also seen on the page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. With 1 week left, Tinubu's ministerial list fails to surface at Senate. This story is seen on the page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. PEP, Justice Ugo proposed resignation fake news, says Court of Appeal. This story is also seen on the page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. Do well to get a copy and read up. All right, Mr. Victor, I would like to get your thoughts on Hajj 2023. Tears, complaint, trend Nigerians 304 billion naira capital flight to Mecca. So I would like to get your thoughts on it.
Okay, if for viewers that have been watching me talk about religion on this platform, okay. I'm talking about will I say religious tourism in this country. Is something that I don't subscribe too well, because Nigerians spend a lot already to travel out for religion. Okay, one might say, some person might be watching and say, on your way, this person is a devil. Okay, but no. See, religion should not be a responsibility for the government.
It should be something personal.
Personal. If you want to travel out for religious matters,
food for it.
Take care of the bill.
But don't you think the reason why the government are sponsoring them is because our leaders are mostly outside? No, this is not just about Hajj. It's not just Nigerians go to Israel and they food them.
Yes,
okay.
The National Pilgrimage Commission goes around for everybody. Okay, but not for traditionalists, which just recently Professor Wole Soyinka came out to say traditionalists will need their holidays. They need to have the same rights and respect.
But if they should give them that privilege, where would they go to perform their incantation? Where would they go?
Oh, sure. Okay, you're asking where religious...
Yeah, exactly.
There are countries that they can go to now
to learn more about other traditions, right? Okay, the people
that worship water, the people that worship trees,
water should go to Atlantic Ocean.
They eat. You don't know. Maybe they have where they are affiliated to. Even Israel, they might say, okay, Israel is where they want to go to. I get it. But that aside, but in all, how can Nigeria, a country that is going through so much poverty, be spending 304 billion for a religious cause? Okay, and most part of these monies are monies from the government. Yes, if you want to attend by yourself, go ahead. Let us stop putting so much pressure on our economy, because at the end of the day, these are monies that can be used, just like you said, to create jobs, build industries, make good use of the money for our education, build more schools,
sectors too. Expand
people's knowledge, putting this money into IT. There are various ways in agriculture that you can put in these monies, and at the end of the day, see, now person wey don chop, they fit go church. Okay, I keep it that way.
Okay, no problem, Mr. Victor. That was a really wonderful chart there. Thank you so much. All right, to be going on a short break, and when we return, we'll take the last paper for today. Please stay with us.
Hey there. Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
Welcome back. Still on the newspaper review for today, we'll be taking the last paper, which is the Daily Independent, with the boldest headline, Rats, Imbalance in EFCC Exposed. This story is seen on page 29 of the Daily Independent. Allow Kanu access to personal data, court orders DSS. This story is on page 7 of the Daily Independent. There is no Tinubu's ministerial list in the Senate. This story is also seen on the page 6 of the Daily Independent. Reps ask NEC to suspend planned electricity tariff hike. This story is also seen on the page 7 of the Daily Independent. Federal government unveils plans for implementation of emergency on food security. This story is also seen on the page 7 of the Daily Independent. All right, Mr. Victor, I would like to get your thoughts on this boldest headline, which is Rats Imbalance in EFCC Exposed. So what's your take on it?
Yeah, so there are reports, especially from Daily Independence, and kudos to Daily Independence on this research, because they were able to talk to officials of the EFCC, okay. And they were anonymous though, and they were able to say a few things about what is happening in the EFCC, okay, and that did not spell well for the EFCC. They made, already Nigerians are already asking the question about the EFCC boss, the new EFCC boss, that's Abdul Karim Shuko, okay. That why would he be the one in charge when he had a senior officer? Okay, so they are more like they are giving promotions. Promotions are being given to some selected ones, okay. While the people that are supposed to have been promoted are not getting promotion. That is one side of it. Okay. Secondly, they are saying that some governors have, will I say, induced or bribed some officials of the EFCC. Okay. Okay, because of their ministerial ambition. They made mention of a southeastern former governor, and when they made mention of that, the southeastern governor actually gave EFCC $6 million as hush money, as in don't talk, exactly. As in leave me alone. Exactly. Okay. Exactly. So when they mentioned, when I read the report about a southeastern governor, my mind was just a former southeastern governor. My mind was just rotating. I was like, okay, who is for Tinubu that is from the southeast? Which southeast governor? Okay. Okay. First, I thought about no Hope Uzodinma, not Hope. It can't be Hope Uzodinma because Hope Uzodinma. I thought about Hope Uzodinma, but he's a current governor. Okay. He can't be talking about becoming a minister. Then I thought about Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State. But I'm like, since he is a Senate, okay? Since he's a senator, since he's in the Senate, I don't imagine him leaving the Senate to become a minister. Okay? My head is still rolling around. Then I thought about Okorocha, who already has a case, although the case was just terminated or was just quashed, dismissed. But on the other hand, you find out that Rochas Okorocha does not really belong with the Tinubu's cabinet or kitchen cabinet. Exactly. So my mind has been rolling and rolling. But on the same time, at the same time, I thought about, sorry I'm taking people's time, but at the same time I talked about Enugu former governor, that is Chimaroke. Okay. Okay? But these are just my permutations, okay? Yeah. Well, they've laid it out. And let's also not forget that in terms of assets, there are some assets that have been confiscated by EFCC that cannot be found. These are the issues these guys raised up.
So where would they have kept the assets?
Okay, that were sold out, they were auctioned, but they were auctioned in quotes to proxy persons that had links to the main owners of those assets. So these are issues coming up here and there from the EFCC. But I hope, oh God, this new government should do the needful and
to me, I feel this EFCC recently they've been doing well, especially the case of the CBN governor, that's Mr. Emefele, for them to be able to bring him to book we should know. At least
He has not been brought to book. He has been arrested. But it's not just about arresting persons.
Even when
do you know how many persons?
Even when they arrested him, they were able to find some clues, some money in his house.
How much?
I don't know.
How much? And at the same time, they found a gun. They found a gun with him that is not registered.
Exactly.
How many Nigerians are walking about with guns that are not registered?
To tell this insecurity time.
So I think for me, they need to do a whole lot of work. After all, they are being paid well.
They are doing well because if you look
things.
at the records, you see that a lot of people, and let's not talk about the politicians now. Let's talk about, bring it back to all these cyber criminals. They brought a whole lot of them to book, especially this 2023. We can't undermine their efforts because it's not really easy taking such positions.
You think in the case of Yahoo Boy, you think they've done a lot? Do you know how many Yahoo Boys are on the street? Do you know how many Yahoo Boys on every street? You think they've done enough?
To their best of ability.
Well, personally, I think they've not done enough. They are being paid well, like I mentioned the last time. If you check in terms of government agencies that are being paid well, EFCC is one of them. They are being given the right tools to work with, okay, be it financially or be it in corporate work.
You can't compare it to civil war, that civilized war, that's the Americans, you understand? I feel they haven't gotten that right tools to work with. Because Nigeria...
Are you sure?
Exactly.
Yes,
they've not. They've not. Because that's why most of the times, that's why this thing work are being limited.
What access do they need when you have access to the bank? You can call up for account statements and you are being given it.
In terms of security cameras.
You know, their own is to fight financial crimes.
Exactly. And those things are paramount. Because if you are fighting a crime, you need to know, okay, this person went through this way. This person. If it's in America, they already know the places. They must have collected those evidence from all these cyber, whatever. I know you know how they do it, you understand? They must have collected those evidence, put it together, and they'll be able to locate where the person is. So I feel they still have some limited materials to be able to work with in order to perfect their jobs.
No, now, okay, what about in the case of prosecuting persons that they arrest?
It's not their job.
They have prosecuting lawyers. After all, the case of Stella Odua, they were like the lawyer that is prosecuting them. There was this confusion whether the lawyer that is prosecuting her is from EFCC. So I get your point 100%. They might be lagging behind with respect to tools to work with, but I still need to tell you that EFCC on their own are not even prosecuting these persons the way they should. So
that means they don't have that professional prosecutor.
You just took the words out of my mouth.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Victor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's really an honor to have you here with me. All right. Thank you also, my viewers, for staying with us. We'll be drawing the curtain for today's newspaper. Please do well to get a copy of them. Please do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are TAF TV. On Instagram, we are TAF TV_NG. On Twitter, we are TAF TV_NG. On YouTube, we are TAF TV. Thank you so much for staying with us. Bye-bye.